As you see, my name is Ancil Alexander, and I'm just going to go straight into, I'm a caregiver. I work in the home. I've been there, I have been a caregiver for 15 years. Right now, I'm in another company for 10 years. And I'm just going to say something flat out. Our job is very important. And because of finances, because we don't have coverage, a lot of people, it's not being attractive to our kind of work. Because how can you be a home caregiver taking care of sick people and we ourselves don't have coverage, which really is not, don't make sense. I'm going to say that don't make sense. I have been with a family, I'm going to just, with a family 5 years. And this particular client had a lot of complications. And I'm just going to tell you a few of the complications that she had. She's CVA, she had congested heart failure, she had hepatitis C, she was a diabetic, and she had high blood pressure. And working with her, it was not easy because it's a tough job. And I worked 12 hours with her, 4 days. So because we have to split it up, nobody can work 5 days, 12 hours. And if we don't have the equipment that we need to take care of our client, it makes our job very hard. Because in our job, we have a lot of people who come down with back problems because of the lifting, because of the turning. And if you don't know and you are not trained how to work with these clients, it's a problem. And training is very important for us because you cannot go into this kind of work and don't know what you're doing because you're going to hurt yourself. And if you have a client who is bedridden, as my client was, you need a Hoyer lift to help you to lift her, take her out of bed, put her in a wheelchair. And if you don't know how these things, how to use these equipment, you can hurt that person, which makes it worse, which makes it more complicated because she already has a lot of problems. These people have problems. And we who come in there to take care of them need the training of how to do our job. And this is not just the problem with that. People have to be caring because you can't want to just come and do this job and just do the job. It's not that you don't have emotion, your emotions don't come involved because you get involved with the clients, you get involved with the family. And the family is looking towards you to give the best care that you can to their loved ones. And they have to trust you also. But if you can't do your job, how can people trust you? How are they going to leave their loved ones in your hands? So our role is just not to just come in and do what we learn. Yes, that is all well and good. We have to know what we are doing. But people have to trust us to leave their loved one in our hands because they have to go and work themselves. And with my client, I end up doing a lot of things that maybe when I say I shouldn't do, but because there is no one around or no family members, I also have to end up, with this particular client, I have to end up doing her finances. I have to balance her budget because she's on food stamps, and I have to make sure that the food stamp, how I spend her money, is the right way, I would say, because to last the month. Because people don't have extra money to spend. And when you're balancing their budget, you have to let the money last the month. So in other words, our job is not just providing care, sometimes it's also doing their finances or balancing their budget, and other little things that you end up doing. Sometimes they will tell you, well, that's not your job. But then, as Virginia was just saying, when the family lives far away and there is no one else, and you are as the caregiver, you end up sometimes having to take that role and do the finances. Right now, I'm on another case because that client that I had, she came and she died. I worked with her for 5 years. And now I'm on another case. I say that case was, in our job, we do have stress. Because sometimes you get so close to the person that you're working for, you become part of the family. That's they call us part of the family. So we do have stress because sometimes, because of the client illness, sometimes they do get a little nasty to the workers. But you don't let it get you down, because you have to realize these are sick people, and people who are in pain constantly do get like that. You know, they get snappy. Sometimes, some days they don't want to talk to you. You come in there and you say good morning. They wouldn't answer you. And then you think that you do something wrong, but it's not that you do anything wrong. It's just that that's how they feel. They're in pain, and pain makes people act that way. Right now, I'm another client. As Virginia said, my client is blind. First, he got shot in his head, and he got blind. He went blind. So now she said he's hallucinating. He can't walk. You have to help him. And this is where the equipment come in also. He needs help to walk like a walker, even to take a shower, he needs a shower chair. So if you don't have these things to help you out, it makes your job so much harder. And not a lot of people want to come into this field and do this kind of job because it takes a lot out of you. Giving care to somebody, as Virginia said, takes a lot. It's not just the family, but it also the caregiver. It takes a lot out of them. As I was telling you, yes, my client is blind. He's hallucinating. Sometimes I hear him calling me, and he says somebody's beating him up. So there's people around him fighting him. How do you deal with something like that? Because this is not something in the natural that you can do hands-on. But how do you deal with somebody who is saying somebody is beating them up, and they're seeing that, but you can't see it? So it's not easy to help somebody in a situation like that. So you have to learn to find ways of dealing with that. And I have found a way to help him. He likes music, so I play music. He likes me to read. I read the Bible for him. He likes that. And so one day I asked him, I say, does it help? How do you feel when I read for you or I play music for you? And you know what he said? It calms him down. So we have to find ways of how to deal with situation when it arises. So it's not only the training. Yes, we need training and proper training, but sometimes we have to go a little beyond that, because we have to find ways how to help them other than what we are trained to do. Because nobody is trained how to deal with what to do when somebody's hallucinating or seeing things or that you can see or screaming. Sometimes you feel helpless. Sometimes we do feel helpless in this job because there's some things we just can't do. And that medication do not fix everything. Maybe I go off track, I'm not sure. But even in spite of all of that, I love my job because it's given me a kind of satisfaction to know that I'm doing something that I love and I'm doing it to the best of my ability, and I am bringing relief to somebody who is sick, even if it's not, not all the time, but even whatever I do to help. I find I have accomplished a lot. And one thing I would say is that a lot of the home care, those who do home care, is single parents. A lot of us who are doing this and it's mostly minorities. And we need ourselves. Sometimes sometimes we would like someone to take care of us. Or we would like to get away, maybe from our kids sometime, because being a single parent, you have to be there all the time, because you mightn't have anyone to help you out. So sometimes we get stressed out, not with the client alone, but in our own situation. But we cannot let that get us down. But we do what we have to do in this job that we are in. And thank you.